I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure that they remember forever the night they played the Titans. What?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. We are less than 3 weeks away from real NFL football. Not this fake stuff. Not this stuff we're seeing now. But hey, it's a part of the process, everybody. All teams are doing it. I like what the Rams are doing, like we talked about with all the scrimmages in practice, because that's when your ones get to go. It's part of the process, people. You have to get through these preseason games. They'll probably drop it down to 2 games once they add the 18th game in the regular season. But it's a way to find out, the last half dozen spots on your team. That's what it is. And to get an idea of guys you're going to put on your practice squad, get reps for young players who you're going to count on during the season, which is why I thought this year was exciting for the Cowboys. Our owner went and decided to go get a Trey Lance, and now we're getting a Trey Lance 24/7. He's got a long way to go. Hopefully he gets there. Still think Cooper Rush is the backup. I think he's demonstrated at every turn that he's a winner in this league. Now, can he do it as a starter full time? Nobody knows. He went 4-1, 4-1 or 5-1 for Dak when Dak was out, but limited in his athleticism, but not with his arm talent. So we still have a couple open-ended things. We talked about, right? We talked about Jordan Phillips joining the fold. Joining the Cowboys via trade. The Giants are probably going to let him go. Why not get flip a 6 for a 7? Not in this year's draft, next year's draft. Jump up 15 spots. It's all it was. But he fits the bill and what adds another piece. Like I've been saying, we were thin there. We could use another. So we could use another. Then we go out and we get Carl Lawson. I did a video a couple of weeks on Carl Lawson saying I wanted him. They worked him out. They probably had conversations. Maybe they were allowing Carl Lawson to go check out his options. Maybe he could get more money before coming back to Dallas. Yeah, Dallas. Dallas is bottom feeding. That's what they do. They've been burned on big free agent contracts. And listen, people, most of the time when you bring in a free agent, it burns you. That's just the way it works. You overpay and they underdeliver. But, and I can't say winning Super Bowls, because winning Super Bowls, it's Cleveland, right? Eagles, were the last team who went out and added the pieces to put them over the top, and they won with Nick Foles. So it wasn't like they were this dominant. They got on a roll, and shout out to them. Now, to me, they were the most talented team, the Birds, a couple years, 3 years ago now, when they lost to the Chiefs on the wet field, and not rehashing it, but I do think they were the better team, how we loaded that team. I think Eagles are less loaded this year, but welcome to Dallas territory, Philadelphia Eagles. Welcome. Now, again, I give your GM a lot of credit. He identifies the problems before they happen, but we still have looming issues out there. Now, I don't believe the running back is a looming issue, because I don't believe the running back wins championships. Eagles were on the precipice of this. They were on the forefront of not paying running backs a lot of money. I was watching Birds 365 this morning on Jacob Sports. Shout out to Xander Krause, who's killing it. They had John McMullen. John McMullen has more yards and more everything than anybody else I've heard to talk about Saquon. He's expecting a big year from Saquon, but he also knows how that offense is and what wins. And what wins is getting the balls to your playmakers on the outside, your quarterback, your tight ends, your receivers. You need a competent running back. Now, listen, does Dallas have a competent running back for 17 games in playoffs? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that answer, but that's the one position where we can go out and address. But that's probably an issue, that could, if Rico Dowdle gets hurt and Hunter Lepke is Hunter Lepke. I love him and all, but he's a young kid, so we'll see about that out of North Dakota State. So I like our receivers, but I challenge any team to lose a number one receiver and recover from it. It's not easy. It's happened, but it's not easy. So it's exciting, but it's the unknown. Anybody that tells me Dallas is this or Dallas is that, you're full of yourself. We don't know what they are. I believe that, we do know that this defense was a top 10 defense, and I believe this defense will be better this year under Mike Zimmer. That is my opinion. That's an opinion based on scheme, and that is an opinion based on we getting players back that weren't a part of the team last year. Enough with the Trayvon Diggs ain't going to be ready for game one. He balled out in a 1v1 scrimmage against the Rams, got himself a pick. We are killing it with interceptions, and Dan Quinn's not here. We're not even scheming up anything. So I'm looking forward to it. I could care less about the haters and what you think. Health is wealth in this league. If we can stay healthy, not lose any more starters for any length of time, we'll be fine. But we still got two issues on the table. We've started with these issues. It's been a long time since I felt this frustrated as a Cowboy fan, just addressing CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. Whether you are for Dak or against Dak, it's like this front office wears you down. This front office definitely wears you down in negotiation, and they wear you down, and it's like going, what I liken it to? When you go in to buy a car, right? They don't want cash anymore. A few years ago, I went in and said, all right, I got, 25 grand in cash. This is what I want, or whatever it was. They get kickbacks from the bank by selling you loans. They don't really want your cash. So cash ain't nothing anymore. So, it's like going in and buying a used car and being hassled, and at every turn they're trying to up your payment by adding you some kind of spray that they put over your car to make the paint last longer and look nice. It's like, shut up. I don't need any of that. I don't need any of it. Give me your best price and get it out of the way. Not the Cowboys.
Settle down just a little bit.
All right, Jerry, I'll settle down. But I want to play you a couple clips here, and we'll comment as we go. I want to show you a couple clips of outside people, okay? One being Mike Florio, who's kind of a contrarian guy in his own right. He's created Pro Football Talk and has taken it through. I'm going to give you a small interview of that, and then I'm going to send you, we're going to watch a clip of a Super Bowl winning GM who doesn't work for the Cowboys or work for radio stations regarding the Cowboys, like Brian Broaddus, who's also a Super Bowl winning scout. People say, I'll stop quoting Brian Broaddus. Okay, we're going to go with somebody else, outside perspective regarding CD and, more importantly, Dak Prescott, because we're getting closer, people. We're getting closer. And I will touch on this afterwards, but let's Let's go. I haven't seen this one, but I know what they're talking about. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see.
Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott addressed his contract situation. Are they truly making progress? Jerry Jones will talk about it from time to time, and you never know what the truth really is. Dak talked about it yesterday. I'm not putting that much thought into hoping it gets done in a couple of weeks during the season or whenever it happens. Good conversations are going on. Lots of good things are going on there. I've got a lot of confidence in my guys and these guys in getting things done. Look, spoken like a guy that truly has all the leverage because he knows he's going to make a lot of money this year. He'll end up with $160 million over 4 years plus a ticket unfettered and unrestricted to free agency, which we rarely see from a top 10 quarterback. And I think you could still argue persuasively that despite the lack of postseason success, Dak Prescott is still a top 10 quarterback. He can't be held to the Cowboys after this season. So however it goes, it goes. Oh, Dak, you could get injured. Yeah, I broke my ankle, and I still got the 4-year, $160 million contract a few months later. So he's not worried about any of that. He's got the upper hand in this. And Miles, I've heard
We know this
not
already.
that long ago, and I haven't heard anything that changes it. One of the big sticking points is the Cowboys want that same kind of escape hatch that the Giants have with Daniel Jones. They want to be able to get out of this after a couple of years if they decide, you know what, we really do need to move on to somebody else and reset at the quarterback position. That's one of the things. Last time around, it was how many years the contract was going to be beyond the money.
Escape
The money's
hatch.
always front line, but there's other issues. Last time it was length of extension. This time it's when can the Cowboys get out of it?
Well, the Cowboys are really interesting to me, Mike. This offseason has just been odd because you talk about, Jerry Jones saying all in and all of this stuff. And he's like, well, I didn't really say that. It's like, yeah, bro, you did. Like, we heard you and we read the quotes. Like, there's not really much wiggle room here. But then you've got a head coach going into his last year, quarterback going into his last year of his contract. I mean, it seems like it could be, quote unquote, last dance-ish. Not that they've had much dancing in the postseason, but you know what I'm saying here. But you're not set up well for success. I mean, the biggest offseason move was what? Bringing back Zeke Elliott? Like that. I don't get it. I don't really get what the Cowboys are.
Miles Simmons, I'm going to hold you right there, my guy. Listen, man, this is the same crap we're hearing over and over and over about media types thinking they're going to say something special. Miles, you said nothing here that's earth-shattering. Like, what are you saying? Bring something new to the table, bro. Mike Florio? Okay, I understand. We've heard over and over. You like talking about the Dallas Cowboys. They just did a poll, or they just did the most Googled football team in America, in the world is Dallas Cowboys. Number 5 is the Eagles. So you're catching up, but you're not quite there. But, the number 1 in sports is the Dallas Cowboys. Again, and it's because of people who just want to be negative. Is it, I'm going to be contrarian, people. Is it so bad that they want an escape hatch after 2 years? Listen, to the Dak people out there, is it so bad that they want to have an escape hatch like they did with Danny Dimes? Now, I think Dak's way better than Daniel Jones. I don't know that Dak's ever lost to Daniel Jones. The team, I understand. They don't play Daniel Jones. Just like Dak's record against the Eagles. It's a team game, people. 9-4, something like that. Doesn't matter if you don't win in the postseason. And coming from me. So, again, I don't know where this is going. Let's listen to a little more before we give them the hook. Because the next interview that I did listen to makes a lot of sense. And people need to wake up and smell the coffee if you haven't already.
They're trying to do. So either you're going to pay Dak Prescott or you're not. The interesting thing to me about that quote from Prescott is he's saying, hey, we can take this into the season. We can do whatever. It is what it is. And a lot of players don't do that, even though ostensibly they're not.
Why, Miles? I'll tell you why. Because Dak wants to remain a Cowboy. Okay, and this next interview will show a lot that Dallas wants to remain with the Dak wants to remain with the Dallas Cowboys. He just does. The grass isn't always greener. Okay? It isn't.
Not necessarily working on the contract when the season's going on anyway. That's something that they hire representation to do. A lot of guys say, I don't need to know whatever it is. Just tell me when it's done. And so that's what good agents do, right? They will keep a client informed if they want to be informed, or they will just keep doing the negotiating, and then whenever it's done, it's done. So if Prescott's willing to let this continue to go on, fine. But what are they doing with CD Lamb? Like, why isn't that contract done yet? And why is Jerry Jones keep having to say, oh, it's not urgency, and then we got to go clean up on aisle Jerry because he said something he shouldn't have said? I mean, this is just, it's odd. And at this point,
just real quick, not to switch off, but I just saw the highlight there. This is a brand new clip. Matt Judon has not agreed to go to Atlanta Falcons, so he could still go to the Eagles. I don't think Dallas will be in on him, especially now after getting Carl Lawson, but Matt Judon could still be on the table for the Birds, so there you go.
Like, the CD stuff to me is a little bit of a distraction. There's that terrible word that nobody likes in the NFL, but it is. Because why isn't he there? Because they can't figure this out, but he's the number one weapon that they've got. Like, figure this out, guys. And if you're going to continue to do that and, like, mess with Prescott, like, what are we doing?
I'm going to let it go another few 30 seconds. I can't take – they're not answering nothing.
Start of training camp. The deadline is basically the start of the practice week in advance of week 1 at Cleveland. So if that's the deadline, that's when we'll get serious about it. And until then, we'll milk it for all it's worth. Miles, I don't think it was a coincidence that Jerry Jones threw out that we have no urgency to sign CD Lamb contract on the same day that the Patriots were launching a preseason game and the Giants were playing a preseason game and the Olympics were still happening. Because what was the top story in the NFL, if not the sports world, after that?
That's
what
true.
Jerry said and how CD reacted to it. He knows how to generate maximum buzz and interest for his team, and I think they're using the preseason as a way to every once in a while stir that pot with CD Lamb, create a big headline. Hey, everybody look at the Cowboys, talk about the Cowboys, and they'll get it done in time for week 1. Whether or not he'll be ready to go, whether or not he'll stay healthy, whether he'll be as effective as he could have been if he'd been there from the start of training camp, that's a different issue. And with Dak, it's as simple as this. Dak is doing to Jerry Jones what Jerry Jones would be doing to anyone if he had that kind of leverage. That's what Dak did the last time around, and that's what Dak's doing now. Jerry Jones is never going to take his foot off your throat, and Dak is keeping his foot firmly nestled on the throat of Jerry Jones and Cowboys management because he can. And if that means he leaves next year, so be it. But he's doing exactly what made Jerry Jones a multi-billionaire, taking full advantage of every business advantage and opportunity that comes his way.
All right, we're going to leave that one right there. And we'll, like I said, there's another clip. That one I found last minute and, whatever. It is what it is. Nothing new really to share except Dak is doing what the only thing Dak can do. My dog is wigging out. Calm down over there. But yes, so nothing earth-shattering there other than Dak Prescott is willing to talk. He's not doing the talking, his agents. He's just going to go out and do his thing. And Dak can be relaxed because he's done it before, right? He bet on himself not once but twice, right? Now, I would say, Dak, Dallas gave you a contract after your horrible injury. My dog's wigging out. But, so, we'll see. I mean, like I told you a few days ago, I'm hearing Dak might get done before CD. I find it hard to believe. It's all about the guarantees with the CD contract. It absolutely is. It's about the guaranteed money. The problem is Justin Jefferson got 110, and the next closest was 87. So, okay, where does that number fall? I don't know that Dallas wants to go into the hundreds of guaranteed, but I don't know. I'm just outside. This is what they like. They like being, this is what they've been doing for years and years. They like being a part of everybody's conversation. They don't care that it's negative. They get a kick out of it because it's got like Eagle fans like chirping or whoever, or Commander fans laughing. The whole NFL is laughing. but they're saying the Dallas Cowboys. The only body who gets hurt out of this process are the Cowboy fans, because we just want our team to get the team assembled in the best possible light to go on a run. That's all. That's all. Win some playoff games, not one, multiple playoff games. The good thing is I think our defense is good. I think our offensive line is starting to, again, nothing bad. It's been nothing but great news on Guyton. But I do want to listen to Mike Lombardi. Mike Lombardi knows his stuff and has won a Super Bowl in this league as running a team. And to those people who are Dak supporters who think he's going to be with the Cowboys, then you might like this. Those of you who think Dak has all these options outside of the Cowboys, think again. There's not many options out there. And Jerry Jones will be stupid enough to do whatever. But let's listen in to Mike Lombardi on the G-Bag Nation. Yes, the G. Oh, no, it's Sean Sharif. Sorry. Not G-Bag. It's 105.3 The Fan. Sean Sharif, Bobby Belt, and company. Sean and RJ Choppy.
Sean and RJ 105.3 The Fan. What's up, Mike?
How we doing, guys? Everything good?
Not really. We're missing our best receiver. We got contract drama nonstop, and you had a VSiN article that was entitled, "Will Jerry Jones go all in with these Dallas Cowboys?" What do you make of all the contract drama?
Well, I think this. I think, when you go back and really watch that game against the Packers and you own a team and you see how disappointing the effort was, the fundamentals were, everything about that game was bad. I mean, look, Jerry's had a hard time getting to a Super Bowl, hasn't been to a conference championship game since 95. Here he has home field advantage, playing against a Packer team that was, struggled to beat Carolina 33-30, lost to Tommy DeVito in the Meadowlands.
It was.
I mean, they were getting better, but let's not put them out to be the 85 Bears here now. So I think when you watch that game and you see how poorly Dak played, you see how poorly all the players in the team played, the high pad level, nobody getting off blocks, Green Bay kind of doing what they wanted to do. I think you can't turn around and say, oh, I'm really happy, let me give everybody big checks. Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
Well, Mike, you're telling me you still don't think the day after, a week after, that you need to sign up CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons down the road?
They're going to sign CeeDee Lamb. They're going to sign Parsons down the road, and I'm sure they're going to do something with Dak. But I don't think.
Just listen to Mike Lombardi. You can say what you want about him. Two-time Super Bowl champ with the 49ers and Patriots, former NFL coach and executive. He's done it all. He knows what he's talking about. So just listen to what he says. Don't poo-poo it. Just hear everything he has to say.
They have to run to the window to do it. Look, here's the thing you all miss on this Dak thing, right? Where's Dak going? Where's he going?
Anywhere he wants.
Anywhere he wants. Okay, but you realize there's other quarterbacks somewhere?
Mm-hmm.
He's not taking somebody's job. You think he's going to go to Miami and take Tua's job?
No.
You think he's going to go to Jacksonville and take Lawrence's job? That's anywhere you want, right?
You're telling me next offseason Dak Prescott won't be able to pick between 3 to 5 teams where he wants to go and get paid $60 million plus?
I think he'll have every option. If the Raiders need a quarterback, I think he'll certainly have an option there. I think he'll have options at another team. But let me ask you this question. Why would he leave Dallas? Jerry would match the deal. Jerry's not afraid of free agency. What does Jerry care about? You're going to leave being the head of the Dallas. Oh, he's going to go to New Orleans next year. Oh, he's going to go to New Orleans next year.
I said that.
Right there. They're $90 million over the cap already for next year.
90 mil.
Okay? He ain't going to New Orleans. Not at $60 million a year. Mm-hmm. So you can forget about that. He's not going to Atlanta. Maybe a Super Bowl winning GM Terry Fontenot will sign another quarterback, but he ain't going there. Where's he going to go? Okay, he's not going to Washington. Could he go to the New York Football Giants? Yeah. But the Giants have to pay a 12% increase just because of the state taxes in the Garden State where I live. So stop. Where's he going?
What about
Jerry's
Tampa?
Where's he going to go to Tampa? They just redid Mayfield's deal.
Not that many options out there.
Their defense is really good. They're just coming out of cap hell. right? They're just coming out of cap hell. Minnesota said, we've had enough of cap hell. We're getting rid of Cousins.
Yeah.
So, let's just, where's Dak going? You really think Dak's going to just leave for an extra $1 million to go play in Tampa?
So for
come
you,
on.
It's not Dak's talent level standing in the league. It's more options, and he's not going to go to a worse situation.
You're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. You wear a star. You're America's team. You're going to leave that to go be a Buck? That's like leaving the Yankees to go to the Mets.
Michael Lombardi here on The Fan. All right, you said there should be no rush from Jerry after the Green Bay embarrassment. What about the NFL payment principle of you pay more when you wait, that you're just costing yourself money with other
I agree with
contracts
that
you have to leapfrog?
Well, that's great in theory, and although the worldwide leader can't wait to spread that rhetoric out there.
Nice.
Okay,
yes.
But let's have a
Hitting Mark
conversation
Holmes'
here. When they all
ESPN.
say
I love
that,
it.
How come guys are constantly want
Or
their
whatever.
contracts redone?
FS1.
Guaranteed money?
Well, because the new deals come in and they want a new contract. They want a new deal. They're saying the market's not fair. The market just got blown out. So all this getting the contract done early.
Yeah.
The Eagles did A.J. Brown's deal early. What
Yep.
did they have to do? Had to come back and pay again.
Yep.
That's just such.
I mentioned that a few weeks ago.
We got people on TV that have never done a contract in their life, and they start talking about crap. It's like this crap about,
Dan Orlovsky. Yeah, the hater. Again, just listen to what Mike is saying. He makes way too much sense. You sign a deal to these mega guys. I'm upset that they haven't thrown more money at them earlier. But when you make it like an A.J. Brown, what happens? You have to redo the deal. It's kind of a myth when you really look at it. If you're getting that good of a deal, the player's going to be unhappy. Look at Zach Martin. He got his money last year. Didn't have much leverage other than I ain't playing. That's why I said Dak should have just held out. But it may work out for Dak. I don't know. Let's listen.
You got to have a young quarterback. You have to have a quarterback on a rookie contract to win a Super Bowl. Okay, great. We have one guy that's ever done it. His name's Patrick Mahomes. One guy. But you ask any fan in any Dallas bar.
All you people, and I've said it. Oh, you got to you got to go all in when the quarterback is young. One. Patty Mahomes. They don't grow on trees.
They're going to tell you, you got to have a rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl. It's bull. It's complete bull. It's just the rhetoric that gets spread out there by people that don't know what they're talking about. Jerry waiting, okay. Say Jerry does CeeDee Lamb's deal. Say he did it 4 months ago, and he got him for $28 million. You don't think CeeDee's going to be saying, hey, Uncle Jerry, I want 32. You don't think by next year he's going to want more money?
Next year, you think he's going to redo? I mean, maybe we wait 2 years, maybe hopefully 3 years.
Whether you wait 2 or you wait 3, they all come back. Yeah. This is a grading scale. It's always that scale. You're not getting away cheap. These guys, look, they're sitting in. I mean, they're sitting in. The rules are so that it's set up so they shouldn't sit in.
Right.
But they are. They're coming back at the table. You got to manage it. I think it's ridiculous to sit there and say, well, Jerry, by waiting, it's costing him so much money. That's just people that don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I'm talking with Michael Lombardi here on.
Wow, he's shutting these boys
Michael, forgetting
up.
for a sec the cap implications or the fact that people come back.
Hey, Bobby, looks like you need to go back on soda,
you
my
have
guy.
so many people, coaching staff, players, everything else on 1-year deals. Does
Sean
it concern
good,
you
though.
at all about the uncertainty and how quickly you could see if struggles crop up this season that guys are saying, all right, I got to start looking out for me. I got to start looking out for my next job, and that can create a toxic culture?
Well, I think that's a hard thing, right? I do think that's hard. I think that coaches by nature are insecure. They're always worried about having security, as they should, because we're with such a transient position.
Just real quick, with all clarity, Mike Lombardi is very close to Broadus, and Broadus is very close. When Mike Lombardi very close to Zimmer, so pay attention here.
But I think if you're the owner and you just watch that debacle, how do you give people job security? Are you sure? I mean, Mike's won 36 games in his career in Dallas. That's pretty damn good. but that loss offset those 36 wins. Mike's done an incredible job, and Dak's played better with Mike than anyone, and he's won 36 games.
Including Kellen. He has.
But he lost the confidence, I think, of the owner because that game was so poorly developed. And
They weren't ready to play, people.
I mean, it almost looked like,
He mentioned pad level. Dallas was not ready to play. I don't really want to go into. I'll listen to it a little bit longer, but they weren't ready to play.
Almost looked like they were hanging out the night before. That game is bad. Yeah. It's bad. It's one of those bad games that, like I wrote about in the VEASAN column, it doesn't go away from you. It's your moment of truth, and you let it slip away. So, I mean, look, I know it's hard for Mike. I know that, and I think what Mike has to prove he's worthy this year. It isn't Mike's going to just automatically get it. I think Jerry's sitting back and saying, wait a minute, why am I going to reward a coach? I know he's won 36 games, but the games that matter, we can't win.
Michael, if it doesn't happen again and they lose, let's just say in the first round after 11 or 12 wins, and Mike McCarthy is not here, does he definitely get hired next year by someone else?
Yes.
You never can say it. I would have no idea. But, I mean, Mike's on track to accumulate a lot of wins. And people can make 1,000 excuses for him. But he's won a lot of games. His quarterbacks played really well. There's a lot of things.
And we're going to leave it there. I mean, I'll listen to the rest of it, but we're not going to record that. Here's the deal, people. There are a lot of teams who just want to win 12 games and make the playoffs. I get chided a lot about, you haven't won nothing. Your team hasn't won nothing in 28 years, 29 years. Yeah, we haven't won a Super Bowl. These are coming from teams who only have won one Super Bowl in their whole history. We have a rich history of winning. It has been barren. We haven't won a lot of playoff games. Dak's won 2. Again, Dak's treated like he's public enemy number 1. I don't get it. Listen, I know you're upset about the playoffs, but, there was 2 games that he should have won in the playoffs and 2 games that he absolutely was horrendous. So, and he does have 2 wins. Again, you can't take that away. Lamar has 2 wins. He's 2-4. Dak's 2-5. I get it. I'm ready to move on if there's somebody here, but I'm not ready to go back to a crap. But it'll get done, people. And if it don't, Dak will make a shit ton of money next offseason, probably with Dallas. Maybe. I mean, I just, at the end of the day, Jerry Jones, the old Wildcatter, is betting that he's going to be on the right side of this and that Dak's going to take the money now as opposed to waiting. But who knows? Your guess is as good as mine, everybody. But Mike Lombardi said it. There's not that many options. People laughed when I said the Giants. Giants are a real option. But, again, just like anybody, that lives 30 minutes that way, Philadelphia city wage tax is a real thing. And New Jersey ain't much better. You know what I'm saying? So, there it is. Let me know what you think about Mike Lombardi's opinion on, and I love when he went after the 3 and 4 letter networks because that's all talk. It's all talk about ex-players who are trying to make a name for himself. When guys like Shady McCoy, you go to a Cowboy training camp for 2 hours and say that Tony Pollard looked great when Tony Pollard was with his wife while they were having their baby. My guy is a troll in the highest, and he needs to shut up, but he won't. That's Fox for you. So keep watching these sit-down shows. The only shows I like to watch is Around the League, the NFL pregame shows. That's all I watch because everything else is just a hustle. It's just a hustle to get you to watch and put clicks in. So, and then they crap on YouTubers that do the same thing. Gotcha. But all right, everybody. The video is getting long, and we want to stop it here. But yes, Dak Prescott, I don't know if he's going to be coming back with a new deal. It sounds like it's happening. Sorry, Kid Cowboy 66. Sounds like it's happening. Ultra Cowboy, I know you're not a big Dak guy. I'm good either way. I just want to win. And CD's going to be here, people. That's going to happen. Just remember one thing, though. Just remember one thing and always one thing. We're them boys.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
And how about them Cowboys? I'll talk to everybody later. I'm going to do a lunchtime chat, probably around 3:30-ish. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.